Today, we're going to be talking about some connections between emotions, time, and transformation. Do you remember a moment or period when you had a political realization or awakening of some sort? When something happened and it began a process of you making a big shift in your political opinions? Describe it. Note, I'm defining political very broadly, beyond just party politics. How did that process of shifting your political viewpoint feel emotionally? Disappointing, confusing, worried, obligated, remorseful, draining. These are student responses.
Did that process of shifting your political viewpoint, happen quickly or slowly? Did it shift anything about your relationship to or understanding of time?
Quickly, in a moment. Quickly, overnight. There were signs that led to gradual change, but then the actual incident happened and there was a big shift. Slowly, but there were signs. Certain things happen over and over and over again, and then one day you realize this is probably going to keep happening.
What people, directly or indirectly, and kinds of labor were involved in causing you to shift political viewpoints? Poor people, taken advantage of immigrants, your parents/guardians and elders telling you how things have happened before, which are now happening again. Social media and the internet, different point of views can look around and see what fits your morals. Schools, classes on history. The main idea we're going to focus on today, drawing from Sara Ahmed, essentially what it means to become woke, the emotions, sense of time, and collective labor involved.
From Sara Ahmed, The Promise of Happiness. Ahmed states her goal throughout this book, on page 162, to read how positive and negative affects are distributed and how this distribution is pedagogic. In other words, to examine how good/positive emotions, as well as bad or negative emotions, are associated with particular things, and how an analysis of that distribution of good feels with some stuff, of bad feels with other stuff, with possibly some overlap, if it were all mapped out, is something we can learn a lot from. Furthermore, in this particular chapter, Happy Futures, she wants to, quote, think about how the redistribution of affect, aka emotions, that is possible in the achievement of what we can call revolutionary consciousnesses, and how this redistribution takes time and animates our relationship to time. Forms of political consciousness must be achieved. It is important not to individuate such an achievement, but to recognize the role of collective labor in the process of becoming conscious of class, race, and gendered forms of oppression, which involves a necessary estrangement from the present. Ahmed implies what she means by revolutionary consciousness, but doesn't directly define it. Quote, to become revolutionary would seem to require a belief in the possibility of revolution. To become revolutionary would seem to require a belief that a revolution is necessary. In other words, would you agree that what exists is something against which we should revolt? She focuses on the patterns of emotions that are associated with people who are on their way to reaching revolutionary consciousness. Hypothetically, if an Instagram feed were actually composed of snapshots of someone's emotional state, then, according to Ahmed's later analysis in the excerpt, we could imagine that people with revolutionary consciousness, or almost there, and especially those who are laboring to spread that revolutionary consciousness with others, would be more likely to have a feed that we could imagine would include an array of images like the following. Characterized by many snapshots of extremely positive, happy, liberatory, freeing emotions associated with their consciousness of what could be, and also many snapshots of extremely negative, sad, frustrated, angry emotions associated with their consciousness of what is, all the ways oppression shapes the current world as it is now. Which sounds like a really rough mental space to exist in, pulling people emotionally in two totally different directions, positive versus negative, like a mental implosion. Meanwhile, the recalibrating of one's emotions while en route to revolutionary consciousness, quote from Ahmed, takes time and animates our relationship to time, close quote. Basically, becoming woke takes time and might also slow down or speed up a person's perception of time. In this way, the process of reaching revolutionary consciousness may commonly estrange or alienate a person from the present moment because of their sense of time is all off. For example, they may keep stepping outside of feeling like they're living in the present moment in order to intellectualize about what's happening and what's missing, the humanity that's missing, or in order to take a break from the constant fog of all that's oppressive in the actual current world and feel some happiness. Quote, "It is no accident that revolutionary consciousness means feeling at odds with the world, or feeling that the world is odd. You become estranged from the world as it has been given, the world of good habits and manners, which promises your comfort in return for obedience and goodwill. As a structure of feeling, alienation is an intense burning presence. It is a feeling that takes place before others, from whom one is alienated, and can feel like a weight that both holds you down and keeps you apart. You shift, drop your head, sweat, feel edgy and uncertain. Everything presses against you. You feel against the world, and the world feels against you. You are no longer well adjusted. You cannot adjust to the world. The revolutionary is an affect alien in this specific sense. You do not flow, you are stressed. You experience the world as a form of resistance in coming to resist a world." Close quote. Ahmed emphasizes that it is difficult to constantly be thinking about a negative space, about what could be, a horizon to dream toward, another world that's possible, that differs precisely in that it is not what the world currently is. Quote, "Another world is necessary, another world is possible, another world is happening." Close quote. Grace Lee Boggs. Lastly, I wanted to share some powerful words shared by academic and writer Saidya Hartman when asked by anthropology professor Savannah Shange about how she maintains her sanity in this moment of 2020. Quote, "I hold on to my madness. I affirm being a Martian in this world. It's some air in this enclosure."